Uh, but then I did not look at the watch, and it was already 11. Sorry,
It's fine.
Sangeeta. Call करना
It's
पड़ा.
fine. Sangeeta, when is Doctor this your Prakash will be
Prakash,
joining?
Prakash sir also is joining. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you are audible.
Yeah. He is joining in a minute.
Okay.
Good morning.
थोड़ा सा कोई डिस्कशन शुरू कर दीजिए सर जब तक ज्वाइन करें. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it would be better if
हाँ, he has joined.
Prakash sir. Prakash sir आ रहे हैं. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, doctor, you are audible. Yes.
Prakash sir has joined, right?
Yes, he has joined.
Ach. So let me start with the introduction of Mukesh. Um, that Mukesh has been in the sector for a long time. He was working with Microsave, also USAID. Then he's basically a banker, and he has actually held the portfolio of health in USAID, and he has been associated with Sadan for a long time. And we know that he is a good, like he has good understanding also, and he is also a good explorer. So we thought to bring him on board to have a primary discussion what we were thinking on the Meadow Plus, that if we can have a kind of study where this process gaps and everything can be documented properly. If we are developing any kind of product, we need to have all those things in the in documentation. Then only we can have a like total your anal and process documentation how we have developed the product. So this is what our thought for Mukesh. And Mukesh, I don't think I have to introduce Boxy sir. He himself is his uh, name is adequate for us. Mukesh, if you can give a little bit of your introduction. Yeah. Our board meeting is, I mean, it will start in 5-10 minutes. I will go out. Then Bakshi sir can also guide you that what we exactly want to do. Sure. Yeah, Mukesh, in short, in brief, if you can introduce yourself.
Prakash sir, very good morning. I think Dr. Sehwal has already mentioned quite a few things. So my background mostly goes into the intersection of microfinance, financial inclusion, and rural livelihoods, rural development. Even currently, I'm engaged with a reputed NGO in UP, People's Action for National Integration. If you may have heard about it, funny. And here also we are mostly working in the rural areas and across Anganwadi centers, health centers, everything. So, um, when Dr. Sebel mentioned this piece of work last week, very briefly, so both of us agreed that this is doable, but I would be keen to know your thoughts more about how are you visualizing this, or what are the expectations? Sir, you are on mute, sir.
Okay. So, see, I'm fully aware of the microfinance scenario in the country because having been associated with it for such a long time. Uh, what we were looking at is an emergency health loan.
Yeah.
Because when a health emergency comes, the usual appraisal process of the banking system or the microfinance system uh, fails to meet
Doesn't.
the requirement.
Yes.
I mean, you can't take weeks to process a case
Right.
when a health emergency is there.
Right.
So we were looking at developing a product and a process where loan can be sanctioned very, very quickly, within hours, I should say.
Right.
Now, the usual process of the banking system is to look at the CIBIL score and such thing. Now, what is CIBIL score? It basically assesses your net worth in one sense,
Right.
whether you are worth being taken the risk. Now, our past experience shows that there are so many ways of knowing whether somebody's net worth is very good, in the middle, very, very bad. I mean, you look at the clothes somebody is wearing, and that tells you something about the net worth of that person.
Right.
Uh, if somebody is every day traveling in a car and somebody is every day walking, it tells you the difference between the two. So we were looking at easily identifiable indicators which will tell something about the worth of that household.
Mm-hmm.
The idea emerged from exactly the reverse of what we did in identifying the poor, something which I developed when I was in Kerala, and we developed it for the Kudumshri program.
Mm-hmm.
That how do you identify the poor? And ultimately, the government of India has also adopted many of those parameters. It is a negative uh, scoring.
Right.
If somebody has a well-built house, a concrete roof, one can say that the person is not poor. You don't have to
Right.
go beyond that.
True.
If you are having two motorcycles, you are not poor in any case. I mean, worse come worse, if you take a loan of some 25, 30,000 rupees, and if you have two motorcycles, you can always sell one of the motorcycles to repay that loan. I
Right.
mean, the lender is assured that assets are there to take care of the
Mm-hmm.
loan. So the way Kudumshi identified poor persons was they after a lot of experiment. I mean, we I think conducted surveys of about 1,500 households 3 or 4 times to come out with that list.
Right.
So they had identified 10 parameters, and if anybody had 7 or more of those 10, it was decided that the person is not poor. The person has enough net worth that we don't have to look into incomes and such things. So the reverse of that now. That is, somebody is having 2 acres of land, and you know that one is in, say, Barabanki district of UP. Now, without going into the details of that household, you know what is the average production of, what are the crops grown in Barabanki, what is the average production, and how much income a 2 acre holding generally makes. It could be plus minus depending upon the way the person works, the season, etc. But some average figure can be taken. Now you don't go only by one such parameters. You list out many such parameters.
Right.
And if a person has a positive score on many of those parameters, that somebody has land also, somebody has dairy animals also, somebody has a tractor also, uh, you know that somebody from that family is working in the city and is sending remittances, because somebody is in a regular employment in the city, means there is a regular income flow for the household.
Right.
Now, if such parameters are there, giving a small loan of 25, 30,000, 40,000, 1 lakh rupee to that household may not be a very risky proposition.
Right.
Because there is enough indication to show that the person or that household has wherewithal to repay that loan, because they have land, they have dairy animals, they have motorcycles or car, or somebody is working. We also built in some negative parameters there, that if the household has, say, 1 or 2 persons above 70 years of age, then generally one can presume that they would have one or the other ailment, and the household would be spending some money regularly on their health issues,
Right.
either on consultation or medication. So every month you can say some 2,000-3,000 rupees goes towards medication. So it brings down the repayment capacity to that extent. Because when it comes, nobody would say that I will first pay the bank loan, and if the money is remaining, then I will buy medicines for my father.
Exactly. Yes.
I'll first buy medicine and then see whether I can repay the loan or not.
True. Very true.
So using this logic, we ultimately we asked MFIs themselves to conduct a survey. So they conducted a survey of 1,000 households where they had already appraised and given loans.
Mhm.
And then we asked them to conduct a survey of 1,000 households which had not been surveyed by them for loan assessment, but they had similar parameters as those people who had already been given loans.
Okay.
And if most of the parameters match, then I can say that if that person wears a blue shirt and this person is also wearing a blue shirt, and you found that the blue shirt wala is loan worthy, there is a good chance that this person also is perhaps loan worthy because he is also wearing a blue shirt.
Right.
Now, blue shirt is a symbol of the assets that the household has.
Correct.
Or, for example, I mean, if somebody is blue shirt, like I had read long back Mr. Bhargava's book on Maruti, that if you are having a uniform of Maruti, even in a mall, people would know, oh, he's an engineer from Maruti, so his net worth is already known.
Right.
You don't have to, look at CIBIL score.
Right.
So this is the way we built this product in consultation with MFIs. But as happens, I mean, 30 years of microfinance experience shows me it is not easy for people to understand a new product and start, using it.
Right.
So we wanted to run a pilot where we said that, okay, let us score households on the basis of this parameter.
Yes.
Let us give some 50 loans. If some 10 MFIs are involved, no MFI will have more than 5 loans.
Right.
And all MFIs are having assets worth hundreds and thousands of crores. So 5 loans of some 25, 30,000, 40,000 rupees will put some 2 lakh rupees to risk, which is not even a speck of dust on your balance sheet.
Right.
So let us start that. And but then, the existing institutions are so busy doing their daily work that piloting a new product is always, but we always felt that, Sadhan itself has enough experience to say that 15 to 20% loans get defaulted because of health issues in the household. Because when health issues are there, nobody is going to put all energy on the enterprise. They will first take care of the sick person and the enterprise goes down and therefore the default takes place.
Right.
But if somebody could help them maintain good health in the family, actually the enterprise will also have a better chance of producing income.
Right.
And therefore, a health loan is something like a working capital, additional working capital to that enterprise.
Right.
And the amount is not very large. So we sent 1 or 2 cases, but then, perhaps because of lack of enough backing from the top management, or that Sadhan only can answer.
There are 2-3
Not
things.
much progress has been made.
There are 2-3 things in this because this microfinance, as that it has a very structured process, and this structured process has been already tested with the time, and everything now is based on technology. Now this product is a little bit different, so they are trying to mismatch, but their based this identification with Credit Information Bureau and other stuff. They want to give loan to these people, but it has to be seeped through these own process. But there is also a kind of the objective and also the philosophy of both of the things are a little bit different. Although at the end of the day we want to cater those poor people, but the philosophy is different. So it is little bit tough to seep into the system. Uh, they have to also go through a process.
The difference
that
is between,
we
using
cannot.
a standard product which you are using for last 10 years and
I mean,
then trying out a new
agree,
product. It is always
agree.
going to be a different experience.
Agree for that. I mean, I totally agree
Now,
with
one
you.
case, for
But these
example,
are the
I
dichotomy.
will, no, no, doctor. See, the last case, the MFI said everything is fine,
Mm,
but the person is a male person, and we don't give loans to male persons. We give loans
mm,
only to
mm, mm,
females.
mm.
Now, you can't do anything about it. The only thing you can do is to
Bec-
send it to another MFI, which also gives loans to, or somebody said that, okay, no, I give loans only under a joint liability group. Now, you can't create a joint liability group of sick
For a
persons. It
single
is only one
person.
sick
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
We don't want anybody to
yeah.
sick. So it is
Right,
issues like this which are actually coming
right,
in, and it
right.
is not
So
the
this
field
is
staff or the branch staff which is responsible for anything. It is here that the top management of the
management.
MFI has to
Yes,
step in and say that, see, we are trying out a new product. Unless we try out a new product, how are we going to make it our core product? See, whatever
right. So,
JLG is has not come out of the blue. We
right.
experimented with
So
joint liability groups and
that's
SHGs, etc., for years, and then we stabilized the process. So before
yes,
stabilizing,
that's
if you
why
want a stabilized process, that cannot happen.
I think this Mukesh's this exploration and also his this study on the process will be extremely helpful for us to understand the gap. We know, but it is not properly documented, and also like if we can put it as a kind of process documentation, maybe after 1 year or something, if we can do another one. So if we I mean, that's our objective of bringing him in the system, that he will help us to understand, talk to all the parties, understand the thing, document the thing, and then we will present it to our these partners. That these are the gaps, and how can we work on that one? Possibly we can get another 1, 2 members as well in the room and try to do that one. That's we were deciding that if we can do a study on it, it would be helpful for us to have a deeper dig in this and also getting some good report on it. I mean, Mukesh, you are getting to understand a bit, right?
Yes, yes. I'm actually waiting for my turn. So I thought maybe Prakash sir want to add something to what you just said. Because I have a couple of clarification queries. So,
Yeah, please go ahead.
so Prakash sir, one thing that comes to my mind is, apart from the kind of challenges, internal challenges to the MFI thing, even if that is sorted, one thing that I'm thinking is that with the proliferation of these Ayushman cards across and I'm assuming that the target population is the same for both, right? Because we are talking about microfinance customers, and here we have Ayushman card, which is targeted at the same population. So, was that taken into consideration when designing the product? Because there seems to be an overlap, and there seems to be an alternative which is already available to the.
I can understand the situation. No, but we have to understand, the limitations of Ayushman card, because we have done more than, I think, how many Ayushman hospitalizations we have done? So in the last 1 year, we have done more than 500 hospitalizations under Ayushman also. See, there are two serious limitations of Ayushman. One is that it is applicable in all government hospitals, but only in 10% of the private hospitals. Now, if you are sick and you have an emergency, are you going to travel some 50, 60 kilometers to get the benefit of Ayushman card, and whether that hospital will admit you, or you are going to get your sick person admitted to the nearest hospital and save life? This is a challenge that every villager will have to face. Because my own cousin runs a hospital and registered under Ayushman. For last 6 months, they have not been paid by the government.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And because of all these things, hospitals are not very, very upcoming to register under Ayushman. They register sometimes only for one particular ailment. Now the problem is, for example, even my cousin's hospital, only orthopedic cases are registered there. Now, if you have any other problem, you will not be covered under Ayushman in that hospital. So there are so many issues with Ayushman right now, and the government has made the process more and more difficult for getting payment, also because of the frauds that hospital committed. So now you have to actually put a live, you have to record a video with geotagging to prove that a surgery took place.
Yes, because there were cases that
There were cases like that. So because of all these situations, Ayushman is a great facility, but villagers are not always able to use it. And when they are not able to use it, they need something. And this is the only thing they can have.
Sure.
Either go to the money lender or we give them a good product.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Right.
So the other thing that I'm just thinking about is that if we agree to proceed with this study, are we talking about? Are we saying that the product is in place, so we are only worried about the process, and so therefore the focus will be on process, or are we saying let us look at it from complete end-to-end kind of the needs assessment, the requirements of the MFIs, and the process for application and disbursement, and therefore it's all kind of open to
No, I
revisit.
don't think we should go into I don't think we should go into the open case right now, because once a product has been developed, you can't go into the beginning. After all, for 6 months we have all labored hard to design this product.
Right.
Now it's a question of the process part, and process at the field level is stabilized. It is the process from the top that has to be seen, that why the big bosses are not really trying to encourage that this pilot should be taken up, because ultimately if it succeeds, who is going to benefit? You are going to get a new product for your own business.
Yes.
So we need to look at that part only, I think. But I will leave it to Sadhan how they would like to look at it.
Sir, can I go ahead?
Sure, please.
So, sir, like what we have discovered is these field people, they are, when we were designing this entire product, the field people were not involved. The top management was involved, and they might have forgotten things. What we developed was a product, the outline and everything, but the process part, we need to finalize during the pilot, right? Pilot में ये finalize होना है, but to that to happen, there has to be some proactiveness from the top management. Now ये compliances issues जो हैं, उसमें हो क्या रहा है कि ये certain things like ये आपने इस तरह से assess किया and then इस तरह से हुआ नहीं, वो कहाँ पे सिमिलरिटी है हमारे प्रोसेस में? बहुत सारी चीजें ओबियस हैं, एंड देन इवन द मेडोप्लस मेडोमित्र जो है, उनके असेसमेंट में उनको लगता है कि दिस इज ओबियस, सो ये हमको कर लेना है एंड दिस इज द पैरामीटर. क्या बोलते हैं कि गोइंग बियॉन्ड द क्वेश्चन. सो देयर इज एन एग्जांपल लाइक उसके 5 रिलेटिव्स हैं दूसरे स्टेट में, लेकिन रेमिटेंस भेजते हैं कि नहीं, वो उसने पूछा नहीं, बिकॉज दैट वाज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज दैट वाज ओबियस. नो, अगर बाहर हैं फैमिली के तो देन दे वुड, बट वो फैमिली फिर डेफिनेशन में आ जाता है एंड ऑल दैट. तो ये जो फाइनल पॉइंट्स है ना सर, ये मिसिंग है. लाइक मतलब वो जो पहले तो अपना इंटेंशन होना चाहिए कि इसको करना है, एंड वेयर देयर इज नो क्या बोलते हैं एक्सपर्टीज इन द फील्ड स्टाफ कि ये इस तरह से आया हुआ है, अगर एसेस होके इवेलुएट होके, देन दिस इज सिनोनिमस टू देयर प्रोसेस, दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस. ये कौन करेगा? देयर इज नो इंटेलिजेंस. वो पूरे प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेड है फील्ड स्टाफ, आप जानते हैं जैसे. तो देन हमको अपने स्टडी में ये सारी चीजों को भी हाईलाइट करने हैं.
नहीं, मैं इसीलिए पूछा था संगीता जी, थैंक्स फॉर ब्रिंगिंग दैट क्लैरिटी, because Prakash sir, my question was again, and I agree that since lot of effort and a lot of thought has gone into the product development. There's no doubt that the product would be almost perfect, but my worry was what just Sangeeta ji said is that some part of it is being done by the Meadow Mitra, and then the assessment and other things are being to be done by the MFI frontline staff, and then there are some decision makers sitting somewhere the writer or whoever, and then there's the top management. So the clarity to all of them should be there about whatever is going on, and so I agree that the top management may have been on board when this was being designed, but now there's some kind of second thought of I don't know. I won't comment on that, but it sounds that the initial momentum has slowed down or whatever. So and so therefore, if during the study a few points emerge, which point to some kind of product tweaking or making some adjustments here and there, I think we will bring that out as well.
I would suggest, in fact, you can point out, the very idea of the pilot was to look at whether these parameters are okay or not, or what kind of tweaking is required. See, this tweaking should also be done based on actual experience rather than, our past. And that is why we wanted that some 50 loans should be given. That will help us to understand. And we never said that you don't appraise these people using your standard parameters. But don't use that to reject the loan, because the idea is to see where is the divergence. Unless the divergence is seen over a large number of cases, on the basis of divergence of one or two cases, you can't stop designing of a product.
I get your point, sir, because I've worked with ICICI Bank and HDFC both, and I'm able to.
Sangeeta ji, I will have to drop out because I thought this meeting is.
नहीं ठीक है सर. I think we have a good clarity. Prakash sir.
Yeah, sure.
So
I'm listening to you.
But do we have your kind of go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Ultimately, our idea is to have a good product.
Okay.
See why things are not picking up, the reasons for that. Right now, I would not. I would want to understand why the top management is not interested in piloting a new product, because ultimately it is going to help them to not only get one more product, but this product will actually help their standard product.
Definitely.
If people are able to get a health loan and maintain good health, your earlier loan itself is guaranteed for repayment. Otherwise, that itself is under risk.
That's why I brought up this point of the work with ICICI and HDFC, where I've seen the reasons, I mean, or excuses for resistance to change, as we call it. So whenever something new is to be done, few people get uncomfortable. यार अच्छा चल तो रहा है, क्यों करना है, क्या करना है? But then we'll have to find people who have that long-term vision. Because अभी जो चल रहा है, जरूरी है 5 साल बाद वो चल रहा होगा. So I think, yeah, we'll have to work through all these challenges. But I think this is doable. And
सर हम एक ना वर्कशॉप भी प्लान कर रहे हैं वही में. सो उसमें ना जो जितने भी सारे लोकल एमएफआईज हैं सबको बुलाना है. तो आप अगर एक क्वेश्चनियर काइंड ऑफ रेडी कर ले, मैं भी भेज दूंगी आपको सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स व्हाट एवर यू वांट. तो आप उसके बेसिस पे क्वेश्चनियर, फिर व्हाट आर द, उसमें तो सीईओज आएंगे. तो देन यू कैन ना आस्क डायरेक्टली कि क्या हो रहा है, कि कहाँ तक आपको नहीं करना है, सपोर्ट क्या है, जो भी. एंड देन इट हम कर सकते हैं.
ठीक है प्रकाश सर. आई थिंक let's start and I think we'll make some
obviously.
कुछ तो आएगा.
ठीक है.
All right, sir.
Okay,
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji.
और देखो हम लोग मॉडर्न तो हो ही गए. You are लखनऊ based, is it not?
मैं लखनऊ based हूँ सर.
मैं भी लखनऊ में, और हम वीडियो कॉल पे बात कर रहे हैं.
That shows that we are out. अरे नहीं मैं तो सर मैं.
In fact, I told Gigi also that why are we meeting on a video call? Why Mukesh and I should not sit across a table and talk?
I could not
over a cup of tea.
I never knew that. I was under the impression that any new business would be based in Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. So Lucknow never occurred to me. नहीं सर, बिल्कुल मिलेंगे सर, बिल्कुल मिलेंगे.
ठीक है, मिलते हैं. ओके.
ठीक
Okay,
ठीक है
राइट.
सर,
thank
थैंक यू
you.
सो मच.